Film Fanatics. From the silver screen to your earphones with Alan Azulay and Gal Balaban.
Welcome back to Film Fanatics, all about the movies that have us obsessed, excited, and inspired. I'm Gal.
And I'm Alan. On this episode, we're going to be talking about two movies that are very action-centric.
About fugitives.
About fugitives. There you go. It's going to be a short episode. We don't have any news today because we literally just finished recording our Comic-Con episode.
Which is all news.
Which was all news. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. Second episode with the cameras on. Let's see if this sticks. Seems like a fun idea from now.
For sure.
Do you want to start us up, Gal?
All right, for sure. So our first movie, we're going to be talking about The Fugitive from 1993, and then Netflix's new The Gray Man, directed by the Russo brothers. So first of all, we're talking about The Fugitive from 1993, directed by Andrew Davis. So this was an adaptation of the 1960s TV show, but arguably the movie became a lot more popular, and it stars Harrison Ford as Dr. Richard Kimball, who is wrongly convicted of killing his wife, and goes on the run after escaping a prison bus and has to prove his innocence while finding the person who actually did it. And he's being hunted by Marshal Sam Gerard, who's played by Tommy Lee Jones. So I watched this not too long ago, and you also watched this recently.
I watched it for the first time last night.
Nice. And this also coincides not too long after Harrison Ford's 80th birthday.
Happy birthday, man.
Yeah.
Keep on trolling. We need you.
Yeah, one of my favorite people, Harrison Ford.
Still in the set of Indiana Jones at 80.
Exactly. What a legend. So, The Fugitive is one of his biggest hits. Obviously, he's best known for the franchises, but personally, this is actually my favorite movie outside of Indiana Jones and Star Wars that stars Harrison Ford.
I might have to agree with you because this movie was very fun. It was fun and it was like exciting and like even though it was super 90s, he gave me like a great performance. And Harrison Ford with a beard, very underrated. I wish he kept a beard for the whole movie.
Yeah, he has a beard for the first bit and then he like shaves it to not get recognized.
Throughout the first act of the movie, he's sporting a very, very cool looking beard. And then he shaves it off for fugitive purposes.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Which is what I like about this movie. Is this ordinary guy who's running for his life and he has to do fugitive-y things. He has to do like these impossible escapes or like jump out of a sewer through a waterfall or steal an ambulance in the name of justice, I guess.
He's just lucky. He's like he's not trained or anything. Something I enjoyed is that it explained how good he is at this because he was so smart. Like he was basically the smartest doctor in his hospital, leading researchers and stuff like that. And that explains how he's so smart investigating who actually did it. It's very sad the beginning of this movie because you know he didn't kill his wife, and Harrison Ford gives a fantastic performance. He's tearing up when the judge calls out his sentence.
Oh, crap,
and
that gets me.
Exactly, and like you know, he's already in so much pain because the love of his life died, and this guy took everything
He's literally
from
lost
him.
Everything.
Like, and
legit.
And he's being punished still for it. Not enough. That he was suffering through that like psychologically, but like also physically. They're basically throwing him in jail and they put him up for the death penalty. What the fuck?
I mean, we can get political here, but yeah, death, that's like you said, it's very 90s, like the worst case scenario, and he has to get out of it.
I remember when we were talking about Blade before, like
that's bad
some
90s
episode
vibe.
Is bad 90s. This is good 90s vibe.
This is good 90s. It's kind of in the reign of his other action movies like Air Force One or Patriot Games, where he played Jack Ryan. Yeah. It's very fun, but it's not. It's grounded in reality enough that it's a believable action movie that, in my opinion, holds up very well.
It really held up, and both Tommy Lee and Harrison Ford give fantastic performances. I think Tommy Lee Jones won
Best Supporting Actor.
Oscar for this. Like, he was really good, but I didn't know you could win Oscars from action movies.
This movie was nominated for Best Picture, Best Supporting Actor, which he won, Best Cinematography, Film Editing, Original Score for James Newton Howard.
Nice.
Sound Mixing, and Sound Editing.
By the way, I'm not dogging on action movies. I just thought Oscars were like too highbrow of themselves to give this to an action movie.
I've talked to people about this. This is not the movie that would even get a single nomination today, because like today more traditional genre movies are looked down on. And this is back when only 5 movies could get Best Picture nominations.
Wow.
This is the movie that was nominated in the same year as Schindler's List and The Piano, which I will say I do think Tommy Lee Jones is excellent and very memorable, but I don't think he should have beat Ralph Fiennes for Schindler's List. That's a whole different story.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Ralph Fiennes is just unforgettable as the villain.
And let's face it, Schindler's List is like
a masterpiece. Tommy Lee Jones is really good. He's like, quote, antagonist, but he's just the guy doing his job.
Exactly. Sometimes you do like find yourself like being pissed off at him, but then you have to catch yourself and remind yourself, wait, this dude thinks this guy killed his wife and escaped prison. He's only doing his job, nothing more.
I think the most iconic scene in this movie is when they're in the sewer and Harrison Ford takes the gun and Tommy Lee Jones is laying on the ground and he goes, I didn't kill my wife. And Tommy Lee Jones goes, I don't care.
It's so funny. I laughed and I was like, I don't know if I was supposed to laugh.
It sums up the whole movie. And then there's the whole jump out of the sewer and into the waterfall, which is a whole great scene. And yeah, also great in this movie is Joe Pantoliano, who was also in...
who does he play?
The character's name is Cosmo Renfro, the other deputy U.S. Marshal. He was the guy from The Matrix and Bad Boys and Memento, like the guy with the mustache and the funny voice. There's a scene where he's like, Tommy Lee Jones is yelling instructions at him and he's like, why are you yelling at me? Why are you yelling at me? Why are you yelling at me? Like, this guy was funny in every movie. Like, even in less funny movies like The Matrix and Memento, he's like an out there guy. Like, why do you believe this guy? Or I'm gonna like kill you all while you're in the Matrix. Like, he's an always very out there actor. He was like, I think he was also in Percy Jackson, like as the mean stepdad or some shit. This guy was a fun character actor.
What about Andreas Katsoulas? Did you like him? He played Sykes.
Okay, yeah, that was a good part. He played it well. But again, I think Ford and Tommy Lee Jones are easily they steal the show.
Nobody else
memorable
comes close.
Parts. I mean, like, this isn't a movie where there's all iconic supporting characters, but I think besides Joe Pantoliano, like, it's mostly their show.
Yeah.
That's also, I like the tradition of having 2 huge actors and it's a cat and mouse game, sort of like our next movie.
Exactly.
But better.
Way better than our next movie. Our next movie, the new Netflix movie of the week for this week, the most expensive movie Netflix has ever produced, the Russo brothers, The Gray Man. What did you think of The Gray Man?
The Gray Man is like, it presents this interesting Jason Bourne type world where there's these covert spies who are supposed to commit missions that the CIA won't always greenlight because of moral reasons. And Ryan Gosling is the main guy who then goes on the run for finding out some info about his handlers. And then Chris Evans is a psychopath and he's going after him.
He's insane.
Okay, let's start with that. Chris Evans is the best performance in the movie, hands down.
Yeah.
Do we agree on that?
He's having so much fun. This is why I might get flack for this, but I don't want him to come back as Captain America because I love douchey Chris Evans.
I thought that was an agreed fact that his arc as Captain America was done.
Yeah, but you know Marvel and you know Marvel fans.
I know Marvel fans, I do.
So, because I love him playing the douchebag.
Yeah, dude, I realized that. Like in Knives Out,
Fantastic Four. Like, I love, and that other team movie.
Scott Pilgrim?
No, it's literally called that other.
Not
team,
another
not
team
another
movie?
team
Okay,
movie.
yeah.
I love when he plays a dick. He's so good at being a dick.
Yeah, and it's Scott Pilgrim, like I said.
Yeah,
he's the asshole ex-boyfriend. So yeah, he has some really good lines. He's like, you know those rules you guys are always trying to work your way around? Those don't mean dick to me. some shit like that, or like someone tries to blow him up, so he's like, "You douche," and runs away. Like he just has such good lines in this movie. And of course, it's good to see Ryan Gosling in another movie because he hasn't been in a movie in 4 years.
Yeah, and
he's sarcastic as hell. This is more like energetic Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, I liked him. Ana de Armas was good. She was better in Bond, I think.
She had much less screen time. This felt like her being a more serious version of that awesome character she had in Bond.
Exactly. Jessica Henwick.
I thought she was great.
I like her. She's great.
I thought she was really good.
That, you mentioned in our last episode that you wanted her to join the MCU again. And I agree with you. She's great. Regé Jean Page. This is his first movie, right? After breaking out of Bridgerton?
I think this is his first... No, I think he'd had some small role somewhere else.
No, but like after his big break.
Oh, he was in Mortal Engines, which I didn't remember. He was in Sylvie's Love. I also didn't remember that. So this is his first movie after Bridgerton, yeah.
Okay. I think he was okay.
I didn't like his performance very much. I thought he was annoying.
I get it. Like, I think that's probably why the same reasons why I assumed he was okay. So, like, yeah. Wasn't that big of a fan of his performance, but it didn't bother me as much as I know it bothered a lot of people.
I think he was kind of miscast. Like, he didn't ruin the movie, but I think I don't know. Like, this is the first thing I've ever seen with him. I'm sure it was just
It's pretty good in Bridgerton, so I understand why they cast him.
I'm sure, but the show as a whole just looks like Pride and Prejudice light. So, yeah. I don't know.
No, but like he was a good dramatic actor.
Yeah, no, he got like awards nominations for that. I'm sure he's a good actor. I just didn't care for his performance.
Maybe he was miscast, you're right.
Like, I'm sure if they had given him a more like action-y, like swaggery role in this, he would have been a really good fit.
I feel like if he was one of the guys like the two main guys, I feel like that would have been better.
If he was like fighting him.
Yeah, if he was like a third, maybe the role.
It was Danush's character.
I was gonna say the role they gave Danush, that would have worked better. But I like Danush. But no, exactly. But Danush did a good job.
He threw himself into the action. Like I haven't seen him in anything because I'm not sure if this was his first Hollywood movie or not.
I'm not sure.
Let me check.
But like the cast of this movie is so good.
Julia Butters is also really good.
She was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
She was lovely in that.
She was great in that movie. She's great here too.
Billy
Bob Thornton was so good. I love seeing him.
He's great. He's finally a nice guy because the reason is I saw him in Fargo season 1, and he is like this evil serial killer hitman movie, right? And no, he's like a kind like person who actually cares about people, and I was like, that's refreshing. Cool.
Alfred Woodard is in it, and she's great.
I mean, I love Alfred Woodard, so
she's great in
I was
anything.
glad to see her in it. Yeah, exactly. You hire her, that's automatically a win.
Another guy that I have to talk about. He's also great in everything. My boy from my homeland, Wagner Moura.
Wagner Moura.
Or as it's supposed to be said, Wagner Moura.
Wagner Moura. Let me just say, this is not related to the Gray Man, but his performance as Pablo Escobar in Narcos is absolutely fantastic.
Did he win an Emmy or no?
No, but he was for sure nominated. He is phenomenal, and he learned Spanish for the role, and he's so, like, scary and a family man as Pablo. Yeah. And he has, like, a scene in this movie, but I just had to shout that out.
It's a really good scene. Like, he is a good actor,
He was fun.
He's one of Brazil's best actors. Like, any Brazilian would tell you that.
He was in this movie called Trash, which was, like, mostly Brazilian, but it had a couple of American actors, like Rooney Mara, and he played, like, a corrupt cop in it. That's a really good movie. And he was in Elysium with Matt Damon, which is an okay sci-fi movie. So he's been around for a bit. I haven't seen
Anyway, you should watch Elite Squad and Elite Squad 2. That's the franchise that he was in. That's the franchise that blew him up in Brazil in 2007. And then he went to the US, I think shortly after, to do some stuff. But here he plays a German guy. And I loved his accent.
I didn't even remember that. It also took me a second, like, until he started walking down the hall, I didn't recognize him because of his facial hair and his glasses. So I didn't realize it was Wagner Moura until I was like, oh. Yeah. But about the cast, okay, so great cast, of course, and they all deliver pretty good work, except that one annoying performance that I mentioned. But as a movie, it's very much just a Netflix action movie. It's gonna be like #1 trending on Netflix, then everyone forgets about it.
I'll tell you one thing. Take. I thought it was better than most Netflix action movies, but again, the bar is pretty low.
I mean, yeah, it's better than Red Notice for sure.
Like than Red Notice and Six Underground, stuff like that.
Six Underground is one of the worst movies I've seen.
What's the other one that came out?
No, Extraction I'd say is at the same level.
Yeah, maybe at the same level.
The Old Guard it's better than the Old Guard, sure, but
yeah. So like it's on the better level of those movies.
But it's still only like a 6 out of 10.
Exactly. I also gave it a 6 out of 10 on Letterboxd.
Look, the action, like everything in the movie does the job, but that's it. It doesn't really go ever above.
I'll tell you one thing. It annoyed me a little bit how much action there was in this movie. I was like, can you guys talk for a second? But like the action scenes were all really good and really well done. There was 1 or 2 green screens in there that you could point out, but like overall they were really good and really well done. Like that's something you can never fault the Russo brothers in. Their action scenes are always incredible.
Yeah, and Henry Jackman did a good job with the music.
Exactly. And some of the visuals, the cinematography was really interesting as well. Again, not the whole movie, but like there was like a couple of scenes that I was like, oh, this is really cool. Some like lens flares, some cool like dirty lenses that they did and stuff like that. That like I thought it was really cool watching it. I was like, because you know that this is the kind of stuff I like. I'm a very visual like movie watcher, I guess.
The action scene with the bus in Prague, I enjoyed that a lot. I thought that was really creative. But the scene with the plane, the green screen did not work for me.
Yeah. That was pretty obvious. Yeah.
The beginning scene, I thought there was cool action, but it felt like this similar concept of like Jason Bourne, or a similar tone and feel that they were going for.
Exactly.
Except they didn't make it feel as gritty or down to earth. Like, I don't mean like globe trotting, that's all cool, but it just didn't feel like there was much stakes or thrills to it. It didn't feel
exactly. Not a lot of like character development and stuff like that. I feel like I don't know how this turned out. Not as weird. Like the biggest problem of this movie is of course the script, right? I think we're both in agreement with that.
Yeah, the script is just very surface level, a lot of cliches, and yeah, it's just the same concept as Jason Bourne, but in a much more basic, less gritty way.
But that's surprising because you know who wrote it? Joe Russo, Christopher Marcus, and Stephen McFeely.
Oh, really?
And they all wrote Avengers Endgame, Avengers Infinity War, and the Captain America movies. So it's maybe they're a little bit stronger when they are adapting material. Because I think this is all original, right? This is not from any.
It's based on a book.
Oh, okay. So forget about that.
Series.
So forget about that. So I don't know what happened here because this is a great creative team. Like when it comes to storytelling as well, Avengers had such a good balance of character development, dialogue, action, and like, you know, drama that this film just doesn't have. And it's weird because it's all the same people.
Yeah, by the time you get to the final battle in this movie, like, I didn't really care that much what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And everything that does happen, you know is going to happen from watching 2 other action movies.
Yeah.
Or, it's just a Netflix action movie. Like, watch it for a good 2 hours. I'm not going to shit on this movie.
It is free.
Just because it's not great. It is free if you have Netflix, which you probably do.
Exactly.
Like, Chris Evans does a good job. But again, like...
He's fun.
Yeah.
Just for him.
Sure.
Just watch it just for him and you will not be disappointed for that part.
But whenever there's just a serious conversation or a line of exposition, it's not interesting.
So let's talk about what comes next for the Russo brothers, shall we? With their deal with Netflix, the same creative team, they're both going to direct. Writers are again going to be Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely. It's again based on a book by Simon Stalenhag. And it's apparently a gritty adventure sci-fi drama set in 1997 with a girl and her yellow robot. The girl is going to be played by Millie Bobby Brown. And Chris Pratt is also apparently in this movie.
Whoa.
And this is the only thing we know, basically. What do you think about that? Do you think that's a little bit more their lane?
So it's called The Electric State.
Yeah. Sorry, I
Sounds
forgot to
cool.
mention the name of the movie.
Sounds cool. Look, nothing that the Russo brothers do could get any worse than Cherry. I hated that movie.
It was so, like, I heard so many bad things about it that I never watched it.
Good, because I thought it was so bad.
And I'm a Tom Holland stan.
He's good in the movie, but the movie's ass. And they also have a shot of his ass in the movie.
Oh, God.
But, like, from inside of
Count
it.
me up.
Like a fake ass.
Oh,
of
God.
Like a prosthetic ass that they put a camera inside and then just, like...
Oh, no.
They're doing an exam.
Why?
Like,
would
when
they
he
do
goes to
that?
the army, he's doing an exam, like a physical. And so, like, they shine a flashlight into his ass, but it's from the perspective of inside his ass.
Why?
It's such a bad shot. So, yeah, nothing the Russos could do could get worse than that. So, if they're making generic Netflix movies, then whatever. But I thought the Russo brothers could be enough for more studios to do, like, theatrical original movies, which is something that they become a little more anxious to do. Because, like you said, Sony's trying to stick with Venom and Spider-Man when it comes to big movies, or etc. Disney's only doing remakes in Marvel and Star Wars. So, I don't know. It seems like Universal is doing more original blockbusters.
Are they, though?
No,
They're gonna run Jurassic Park to the ground.
You're saying that like they already haven't done that.
They have done that, and that's fair. Well, you're not ready for Jurassic Universe coming 2 years from now?
Jurassic Cosmos. Yeah. So if you were on the run now, would you rather be stuck with Harrison Ford or Ryan Gosling?
I mean, right now, Ryan Gosling, because he's not 80.
Would you rather be hunted by Tommy Lee Jones or Chris Evans' character?
Oh, Tommy Lee Jones every day of the week.
He at least has a soul.
Yeah.
Chris Evans' character will literally kill innocent men, women, and children just to get to me.
Exactly. He's basically Peacemaker.
Exactly. He's Peacemaker. And he's like having fun with it. He's like, he literally said, those rules mean dick to me.
Yeah. He's torturing kids. He doesn't give a shit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. He's torturing the second best actor besides Rick Dalton in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Fair. So yeah, that was our
On the Run episode.
On the Run episode. That's a good title. We're sticking to that one. Do you want to take us out, Gal?
Yeah. So we are no longer fugitives. We are safe in the studio, but we are signing off. Thank you for joining us, and we'll be back with more classic and new movie reviews as season 2 comes to a close. I'm Gal.
I'm Alan. Remember to follow Film Fanatics on Instagram and TikTok, same handle. Film Fanatics Pod. It should be around the screen somewhere. I have never done this before because we're shooting this with the first episode, the filming as well. So yeah, it should be around the screen somewhere. And yeah, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you guys next time. And thank you, Gal. This is Alan.
See ya.
Film Fanatics. From the silver screen to your earphones with Alan Azulay and Gal Balaban.